Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. We are almost into the end of another week, holiday weekend, that funky time between Christmas and New Year's that can be massively productive or the exact opposite, depending on the choices you make, right? So, hey, this morning, let's get started. Let's first just acknowledge Tony Derbyshire's awesome hat. I was looking for some music the other day, and I came across this interview that Piers Morgan did with Boy George, and that hat is very, very George O'Dowd, Tony. So I'm loving it. All right, and Christine has cheese on her head. I'm not sure why that is, but you know what? Anything goes. It's the holidays. Woohoo! Speaking of anything goes, where's my friend? There he is. Let's hear from our friend Jose this morning. Jose, take it away.
Good morning, Rick. You look sharp today, by the way.
Why, thank you.
Everybody, good morning. Happy to be here with you. Happy Wednesday. I am Jose Vladimir from Guaranteed Red Affinity. Delighted to be here with you today. For my mortgage topic today, actually, we're going to talk briefly about credit and credit score killers. As you know, this is the season of happiness, of Christmas, of giving, of being with family, and we want to be very generous with our friends and loved ones. And many times during this season, a lot of our buyers make mistakes with their credit. And this is a perfect time when you reach out to your customers to wish them a Merry Christmas. Please remind them to be very mindful of their credit activity and the things they do so they don't hurt their prospects of buying a home next year, especially those customers who are currently pre-approved but were not able to find a home during this very competitive market of 2020. And they are still hoping to find a home in 2021 and hoping to find a home in 2022. So what things can kill someone's credit? Carrying big balances. So piling up a lot of debt is not a good idea. So when someone goes out shopping and they decide to buy a lot of presents and charge everything on their credit card, that may not be a good idea for their credit situation. Unfortunately, carrying a lot of debt or credit utilization rate is about 30% of the credit score. So carrying big balances can potentially hurt someone's credit score and drop their number. Also, if they get overwhelmed with a lot of debt, paying their credit cards late can create a problem. Making late payments to a credit card will hurt their credit score. It is about 35% FICO score, which accounts for late payments. So it would be a significant mistake to do that. Another one, it would be to totally default on the account. So if they don't make any payment because they extended themselves too much, that would be pretty bad. Finally, opening a lot of new credit. I know we go shopping to different stores and there's a lot of promotions, get a 20%, 10% off, open a new credit card. By doing so can also hurt the credit score of the applicant. So please, when you speak to your customers, when you call them to wish them a Merry Christmas this week, remind them to be very protective and be very vigilant of their credit and how they use it. And hopefully next year, we'll be able to place them in a home. If you have any questions about this or any other topics, please don't hesitate to reach out. And let me take this opportunity to wish all of you a wonderful Christmas with your loved ones and your family. Thank you for everything you do, for being the tip of the spear, for the business that you provided me. And thank you for being, for being good friends. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jose. Wishing it right back on you and your loved ones. Thanks for that information. All right, guys. So today, just want to make sure that you know that today is our second to last 9 a.m. Zoom call of the year. Tomorrow will be our last one. Don't bail on us tomorrow and do me a favor, text or call your friends, look around, see who's not on. You can see our numbers are down this week, which was completely expected. However, yes, we do pay attention to ratings like any good television morning program, right? And our numbers are down this week, and we expected that. However, we want to make sure that we bounce them right back up to double where we are today or better, because we have something fun and special for you planned for tomorrow, 9 a.m. After tomorrow's 9 a.m., we will take a break next week and be back to you the first Tuesday, I believe, because Monday the office is closed on the 3rd. So Tuesday the 4th, I think that date is. However, you do have tomorrow before the break. So do tune in tomorrow, and we will make sure that you are set for your week off. Other than that, really, I want to just dive right into our main topic today, and that was just a real look ahead into 2022. And I wanted to base the conversation today. I do have 8 simple steps to making 2022 exactly what you're looking for it to be. However, before we get to those 8 simple steps, I wanted to just mention a concept from this book. If you can't read it, it's the red book, it's the MREA. And that concept is think big, aim high, act bold, right? Gary wrote that 20 plus years ago in what has become the blueprint or the Bible for real estate success. By the way, you should feel so incredibly grateful that you live inside of an industry that actually has a printed blueprint for massive success. Not every industry has a printed blueprint for massive success. And what's cool is not only do you live inside of an industry that offers you a blueprint for success, i.e. the MREA, you happen to live inside of the organization that wrote the book, literally wrote the book, right? And so don't take this for granted. One of the things that I would love to offer as homework over the course of the next week and a half is read the red book again. Or if again is not an accurate description of what you would be doing if you read the book over the next 10 days, read it for the first time, right? Either one. Get your head ready for 2022. So somebody unmute and tell me what think big, aim high, act bold means to you and to your business and to your life. What does it mean? Come on, someone has to be daring this morning. Think big, aim high, act bold. Go ahead, Jeannie.
Good morning, Rick.
Oh. Okay, well, here, I'll go quickly. So it's really, for me, it's putting my goals out there, figuring out what do I want to achieve, sort of like taking no prisoners and just going for it.
There you go. I love the taking no prisoners part of that, especially. That probably doesn't surprise many of you. And yet the idea of thinking big, aiming high, acting bold, it's an outline, right? It's a mindset outline. How are we thinking? Are we thinking big? In that big thinking, are we taking aim higher than we even think is possible? Are we really kind of just going for it? And then not taking no for an answer along the way, right? I want to spend a little time this morning on, so thank you, Jeannie, for that. I want to spend a little time on the act bold part, right? And that's how we're going to finish this morning. The act bold part, to me, is just 8 simple steps. And it may not sound bold when I run through it. However, I want you to think about how many people, yourselves included, actually do these 8 steps to create the success that they want in their business and in their life. The fact that so few people actually do it makes the doing of what I'm about to say the bold part. So here's how I want you to act bold. Here's the 8 simple steps to making 2022 exactly what it is you want. Number 1, plan. You've been hearing this for the past 3 or 4 months. Business plan, business plan, business plan, business plan, business plan. If you don't have a business plan written by now, man, you have not been paying attention, right? So is everyone ready with a business plan, a clearly defined 1-3-5, a clearly defined business plan, including source of business and activities that drive you forward that you're implementing now? Right, as we spoke about in our masterminds these last couple of days, ultimately you should have 15% of your next year's target goals pending on January 1st, carrying it into the next year. 15% should be pending on January 1st, which means activities have to start on the plan now. Actually, they had to start 2 months ago. So do you have a plan? If you don't, that's your homework overnight. If you do, refine it, look at it, make sure it's visible and excites you. Step number 2 after plan is execute. You just wrote a plan. Now go ahead and execute the plan. Here's how you know whether or not your plan is worthwhile. Can you look at the plan and execute action items? Or is it just something that you're reading? Are there actual do steps inside of your plan? If you can't actually execute the plan, your plan is not specific enough. You haven't boiled it down to actual action items. You see how that works? So number 1 is plan. Number 2 is execute the plan. Number 3, strip it down. Strip it down. Here's what I mean by that. Far too many of us are far too distracted by far too many things that don't matter. And so what I want you to do is write a plan and then execute that plan by putting blinders on and only pay attention to the things that really matter. For some of you, that will be learning what matters versus what doesn't matter. Someone thinking you didn't do something correctly doesn't matter. Here's just a quick life lesson. What other people think almost all the time doesn't matter. Move past it. Put your blinders on. Let them think what they want to think. You go and do what you know you have to do to get the job done, right? So strip it down to the basics, strip it down to what really matters and ignore everything else. Remember, achievers usually have some chaos behind them. Too many of you stop what you're doing, the important stuff, to go and clean up the mess behind you. That's a distraction. Leave the mess alone or hire someone to go clean it up for you. Be okay with the mess. That's what stripping it down is all about. Keep moving forward based on the things that actually matter, what is relevant and important to you achieving the way you want to achieve. Number 4, track. Too many of us are not good enough at that simple step. Tracking our business, tracking the things that are important to us, both business and in life. What are you tracking? How are you tracking it? Guys, the most successful people I know track everything, because when you track everything, you can then go back and look and diagnose where you might be struggling. If you're not tracking the number of potential sellers you need to meet with to take a certain number of listings, and then how many of those listings that you take actually go on to sell, you have no idea, looking backwards, where you might be struggling on the list side of your business. Do you have an issue with your listing consult? Do you have an issue with appointment setting? Or do you have an issue with pricing and exposure, which means the listings aren't selling? If you're not tracking all those numbers, you don't know where to focus. It's all just, I'm not selling houses. That doesn't help you. Make sense? So track it all. Number 5, review. Review what you track. Review your results. Review how excited you might be or not about the business you're doing. Review where you are. Review the time of year. Review what's going on in the market. Review what's happening with your colleagues, what's happening in the market center. review all that data. Because if you're tracking it all and you're not ever paying attention to it, well, then what's the point of tracking it, right? So review is an important step. After you review it, the next two steps come from your review process. Number 6, learn. Learn from what you're seeing. Learn from what you're reading. Ask yourself the question, my review of what I'm tracking in my business has revealed X. What do I need to do to solve that issue? What do I need to have? What do I need to learn? Who do I need to talk to? What book do I need to read? What class do I need to attend? What do I need to practice? Right? Ask yourself a bunch of questions around what you learn from what you track, and then allow yourself to answer those questions as part of your action items moving forward. Number 7 also comes from your review. Celebrate. Celebrate. Part of the achiever's dilemma is that achievers don't spend enough time on the victory dance. It's crazy important that you recognize when something awesome has happened and that you have made something awesome happen. Take a moment to celebrate that. It will just feed your soul so that you can get up the next day and do the hard work that it takes to do it all over again, right? If you don't feed your soul with a victory, with that celebration, it all just starts to feel like a grind. Like, what am I doing this for? So remember, your review process is going to yield 2 new activities: learning, and then taking steps to figure out how you need to get better from what you learn, and celebration. And then lastly, and probably the most important step in this whole process, number 8, repeat. Repeat. And that means do it again, and do it again, and do it again. Remember, you live inside of an industry where business development and lead generation is the number one thing you need to focus on. And that, by definition, comes with repetitious boredom. It's just what it is. Consistency, i.e., repeat, repeat, repeat. Consistency is the key to achievement. You can do all of the things I just mentioned one time. You can even do them 2 times. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to achieve at the levels you want to achieve at. You need to do it over and over and over and over. This is when you wake up, this is what you're doing. These 8 steps. Embrace it, love it, create passion around it, be excited by it. Remember, it's the journey that you need to love, not the result. And what I hope I outlined for you today is a simple path, a simple journey that if you will just pay attention to those 8 simple steps and implement, you will take steps forward. Guys, I hope this was helpful to you today. It is my pleasure to spend time with you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And if I don't see you personally, have a very Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. We will be in touch in the next few days with exciting stuff for January. Have a great one. See you soon.